Yeah, that's right, we've got a Bontrager. Let's take a look. Well, she's a bit tasty, isn't she? Look at it. Let's take a closer look at this frame. Oh, yeah. Oh, them drop parts. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Well, the sun's shining today, so back to another project. So Bontrager, absolutely gorgeous bike, absolutely stunning. Now, there's always little things that I do that are not always on camera when I'm prepping a frame to be kind of built up. You know, I'm going to run some InvisiFrame down in all kind of like the stone impact areas just to protect the framework and the paintwork. But on this one, we have actually got, let me spin this around, got a nasty little chip just there, bit of dirt in there. Yeah, I've got a chip and that looks absolutely awful. So what I have got is, I'd say that's near on perfect. So I'm going to paint that in. I'm going to build it up bit by bit, probably over the next hour or two, and then just leave it overnight before I've got some clear coat as well. Got some clear coat as well. So I'll protect that, and then once that's done as well, obviously I'll then InvisiFrame that area anyway. And then, oh, where is it? And then I've got some wrap as well, which I'm going to wrap the drive side chainstay as well. It's got an absolute cool little, like, yeah, amazing. So put that back in the stand. Now I've got some awesome bits, absolute awesome bits going on this bike, so you'll have to stick around as the video goes on to find out what it gets built with. On that note, I'm going to go and do some painting and do some InvisiFraming, all the boring bits that people probably don't like to watch anyway. So I'll crack on with those, and then, well, I'll be back in a second when I've done that. Right, here she is after a load of work done. Obviously I've shark finned and wrapped and protected the dry side chainstay. I've also ran a lot of InvisiFrame, like down the back of the seat tube, up the down tube, along the top of where the cables sit, along the front, all the way around, so it protects the cables from there as well. And then as I flip the bike around, I've also done the bit just down there, and then if I squeeze round, the colour match wasn't 100%, but that is protected now, and the InvisiFrame comes up and fully over where that chip was. So not perfect, not colour matched in as well as I thought it was going to be. However, from when you look at it from the top, as in looking down, you can't really notice. So, but the more I kind of look at this frame, I really love all the gussets it's got all around the bottom bracket area, around the headset area. I love the wishbone rail stays as well. They're absolutely fancy as anything. Like, absolutely love it. So we're at the stage now where we can start fitting parts on this. We get the forks on next, then we'll get some brakes on, and then we'll start fitting bottom bracket and everything like that, and then go from there. Now with the Bontrager OR race-lite, I think it would be criminal to put any other forks on this bike. So of course with a bike like this, you've got to also go for the original Bontrager forks as well. Straight leg, sexy as anything, keeping it real, keeping it in keeping with the frame, what it deserves basically on the bike. So these are going on. Obviously already got the Chris King cups pressed in, so we'll get these forks on and then we'll move on to some of the more sexy bits on the bike. So yeah, absolute stunner of a bike. The headset was brand new, so next to no maintenance needed. Obviously with Chris King you do want to maintain that they are serviced and looked after. And the actual bearings themselves don't use grease, they use this specific Chris King kind of like, it's like a slightly thicker oil. There is a name for it, can't remember it off the top of my head. Oh, silky smooth, silky smooth. So we'll get these on, get this nipped up, and then I've already put the bits on the handlebars. Oh, wait, just give me a minute, just give me a minute. Then we get these nipped up to where they should be, and then I'll show you the bars that are going on. So all I'm doing here is I'm kind of like slowly making an adjustment to the bottom, and then backing it up against the top one, and then nipping down the top one. And as always, what I always do, final check, I'll check these on the floor, make sure there's no rock, and then do that final tightening when I do the full M check over the entire bike anyway. So, well, now with the forks on, looking sweet, we can drop the stem in, sorry. So, what we've got here is, let me just wipe that off so I don't get it all over my gloves. So what we've got is a salsa stem, really nice condition. We've also got the Bontrager titanium bars as well, which beautiful. So got the Derailleurs XT thumb shifters, new old stock, SS7s, and then to top it off we've got the Ritchie lock-on grips as well. So all in all, that is an absolute sexy cockpit for this bike, and again it just adds to the cherry on top. So let's get these in, then we'll get on to the next bits that need to go on. And again, like I just said, then I'm going to slightly nip that up because when it's all together you want to do them final checks on the floor. They're in, looking beautiful. Let's get some bottom bracket in, and then you'll see what's going on. You'll see what the cranks are, and we'll go from there. Right, flip the camera onto the next bit. With a bike of this calibre, you're going to want to run a nice crank set and a nice gear set. So with this one, what we've gone with is a really, really nice condition Ritchie Logic crank. We have got BioPace chainrings on there, the oval ones. But all in all, usually with these, if you can get them, they're usually all destroyed. You know, that logo is usually buffed off, gone, knackered. So really happy to be putting one of these on this bike. And there's a common theme going with this, because not only are we fitting the Ritchie Logic crank, we also can't get my words out now, look. We also have the matching brake arms. Now the brake arms are super rare and not cheap by any standard. So we'll get the crank on, we'll get that all torqued up, bottom brackets in, that's all done. And then we'll move on to the brake arms and then the mechs, and then after that I can't really do that until tomorrow because I've actually got to build the wheels. I couldn't be bothered to do a video on, well, not I couldn't be bothered. I've done loads of wheel building videos. But for the wheels, I've actually got some Campag rims and Ringley hubs. Well, Ringley, Ringle. How do you guys pronounce it? Put in the comments A for Ringle and B for Ringley, and see how many people say it. Like, I remember once I called a component Ringle, and I just got called like a redneck. Ringley, Ringle. Anyway, let's get this crank on. Let's get it torqued up. Move on to the next bits. Well, that is sure coming along nicely. They're all torqued up. That cockpit, oh my god, that just, wow. Right, let's get on to the derailleurs and the brakes. It's always these kind of bikes that I look back when I was a kid, and I always thought, one day I want to ride a bike and build a bike like that. So it's extra special when I get to put one together, even though given the age of it and everything I'm using like on this bike is new old stock, including like the derailleurs as well. Now you can see it's not had a scratch on it in its life. It's also had the upgraded actual bolt system fitted in there as well, so USA spec. And to go with the shifters, obviously you can only go with obviously a Dior. Slight little bit of marking, but for the age, you know what I mean, so you can't go wrong. So we'll get these all fitted up, and as always, like, you know, even though they're fresh, I like to give them a good spray down with silicone spray, make sure they're polished, looking fresh as well. So we'll get these on, and then I think once the mechs are on and I've got the brakes on, I'm gonna have to go in and build some wheels, so, and then finish up tomorrow. So let's get the derailleurs on, go from there. So the derailleurs are on, so now we're going to get the brakes on. Now With the race-lite frames, the bosses are slightly different. They're kind of like flats on there, same as the forks. By spring, I'm going to get my spring. Near lost the spring there. Alright, so you can't just directly put like a traditional one on. Let's say, for example, yeah, like an Altus one. You can't just stick that and then put a bolt all the way through it like so, because one, the bolt will be there. So there's a bit of a, whether it's, do you call it brake bosses, or are they kind of like canty inserts? They are the inserts what you need. So with them, they basically slide in the back like that. That's essentially becomes your boss, like a frame, and then your bolt goes through, and then put my spring back in, line that spring back up, and then essentially what you get when that boss comes through is you then get that metal shoulder that compresses in, and they go straight on. So with this bike, what we're putting on is we are going for a Ritchie Logic set. Now, I'd hate to think how much these are, if you can find them. We'll get these on front and rear. I'm going to give them a bit of a grease up and so on, in and around where that metal insert goes in, and then we can get these on the bike, and then I'm calling it for the night. Then I'm going to go and build some wheels. So after I get these on, then it'll be like boom, and then it'll be tomorrow and I'll have wheels going on, and then it'll be cables, and then final setup, and then we can just stand back and just basically look at bike porn. It basically is what it is. Anyone that likes these old vintage bikes with the gussets and, you know, the lugged and they're like those special little bits that you get on a frame, you basically stand there looking back over your bike, perving on bike porn. That's pretty much what it is. So I'm going to find my grease and then get these on. Let's do it. There she is, looking sexy. There she is. That will do for tonight. I am going to go in, have some tea, have a beer, and build some wheels. Right, until tomorrow. Well, say tomorrow, it'll be a couple of seconds for you, so see you in the morning. Just a quick update. Still building wheels. Done the back wheel. Right, that one's done. Still gotta build this, so nice shiny, super light as well, super light those, so yeah, that's going on a nice compact rim. Built a set of these before with different hubs, so this should be quite nice. So let's put this in there and then go out there and finish the bike. And I'm waiting for my cup of tea. So the wheels are done. Got the freewheel on there as well. And they've also got the ringlay skewers as well, which is really nice to see that they're with the frame original. So they're all built. Dart and smoke on, as always. We love the dart. We love the darts and smokes here. We love the darts and smoke. So we can get the wheels on and then start progressing with this as well. So slip that nicely in. Also, what I've done as well, while I'm just popping these in, I'll just go through it with you, is I've swapped out the brake pads. So if anyone that puts these older bikes together, right, this is just a little bit of advice, if take it or leave it. So the brakes add the Diacomp brake pads in. So obviously these are 30-year-old bikes, so they're rock solid plastic. They're no longer rubberized. If you was riding your bike, you're going to want a far better, superior braking system. So what I've done is literally nice and cheap Jaguar brake pads, softer compound. They're not going to tear your rim to bits. You are going to be able to stop on them, whereas these, you're not really going to get any stopping power with them. So do yourself a favour and just swap your brake pads out. If they're 30-year-old, they're not going to, as nice as they look lovely. Hardly any use on there whatsoever. If it was a show bike and a piece that you keep on your wall, or something you're not about braking that hard on, then maybe, you know, but they can just go to the pile of brake pads. I'm sure there's a call for something like that out there for people that do want to just have wall art and it all be in keeping and period correct and all that. But what we're about on this channel is riding your bike. Get out and ride them. These old babies need they need to go out there. They need to feel the dust. They need to get some sun on the top tube. You know. So right, well, let's get the front wheel in, and then we can get. Oh, I'm also fitting. We have got a really nice King titanium bottle cage as well to go on. I think that'll just really look nice with the titanium handlebars on this as well. So we'll get that on, get the front wheel on, get the chain on, then it's cables, done. Where's my front wheel? Oh, you sexy bloody bike. Beautiful. On the final stages now, cables. So this one of those things I always like to try and take my time at. Kind of, you don't want them too long, you don't want them too short, you don't want them rubbing on certain bits of the frame, you don't want them sitting on, you know, things that can get knackered basically. So yeah, I will get all the cables on, do a final run through, and then we'll take her out into the sunshine and actually see her in all her glory and just have a minute or two of just perving and yeah, go from there. The bike is done, the sun is shining, so cue the music and let's go and have a look at this baby outside. that was a fun one. Enjoyed that one. She was a very, very nice bike. If you got this far, as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And all I got to say is, on to the next one. See you.